Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to On the Scene. I'm your girl. Okay? Racheal J. I know y'all miss me. But hey, look who's sitting next to me. We got I'm telling y'all, let me tell y'all something. He is so talented. Thinking about what he does all the time makes me sleepy, okay? I want to take a nap. This is the wonderfully multi-talented George Ellzey Jr.
Oh my God.
And the crowd goes wild.
Thank you, Rachel.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming to visit us and sitting down and chatting with us. We appreciate that.
Yeah, when you guys started the whole On the Scene, it was just like, I want to be a part of it too. When I saw Mark do you guys had the original radio show, and it's like, I want to be on that. And then when you guys, love Mark.
Yes.
And then you launched this, I'm like, this is beautiful.
Oh my gosh, thank you, because you have been consistent, and we always see you in the feed. So thank you so much for that support. We appreciate it.
We have to support each other.
Yes, we do. And big shout out to Mark Willis.
Yeah,
you better be tuning in, boo. Okay. Shout out to him. Mr. Wakanda forever. Yes,
I knew before he was
Mark.
Wakanda.
Okay. Before you got in the the African tribal gear, we knew you. Yes, but back to this, brilliant man over here. He not only acts; he's an actor. He's a director. He's even been on the other side of the table, casting. For some pretty big things, and then producer, writer.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's just it's beautiful because we were chatting before about just being three-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You have to really embody and know the essence of who you are to tap into those gifts, because they're all gifts,
right? That
you had to tap into and say, okay, I'm gonna step out on faith and do this.
Yeah, I think as human beings, we're not just one way. We're multifaceted, and I think we all have gifts and talents, but it takes self-reflection. It takes people around you who can see those things in you to say like, hey, you are creative. You are great with math. You're talented with science. Why not have you considered this? So I'm just fortunate enough to first have a solid friend group, a solid mentor, counsel, if you will.
Yes.
And then just, my faith, and then also just my own personal reflection. Because if you don't have those things, you will be left exposed. And especially in this industry where it's just, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of great things, and then there's a lot of disparaging things. And if you don't have the counsel, security around you to protect you, you can be exposed to things that you aren't ready for, and that can hinder you as an artist, that can hinder you as a person. And I'm just grateful for the people that are around me. So my friends who are watching, thank you. And some of my mentors, thank you, because they really look out for me.
That's awesome, because everyone doesn't have that. So that's beautiful.
I'm very fortunate
that you do have that group of people around you, because it's very important, especially when you're starting out, you're trying to figure it out, you're trying to, you need to, definitely get involved in different activities and go to different theater plays and try to find a way to network with other actors and find a mentor and everything. So you have your BFA, BFA, which is your Bachelor's of Fine Arts in English and Theater.
Yes.
Alumni of Bowdoin College.
Yes.
So, 2013. So, just telling all the man's business. His social security number is
969. It doesn't even start with those numbers, so don't try.
Right, don't do it. So, what you talking about, your mentors and different people that really had your back and kind of leading you and guiding you. When was that moment where you decided this is what I want? Because you went and got a degree in it. So, what does that moment look like?
Well, even leading up to going to Bowdoin, I went to Hales Franciscan High School in Chicago, and that was very focused on science and math. Okay. And so I wasn't really exposed to creative arts in high school.
Right.
I've always been a creative person, and my mother, she helped nurture that at different times in my life.
Shout out to Mom.
But I think when I went to college, so I went to Bowdoin full academic scholarship. I just put that out there because that's a testament to my mother, because she really, I was set up for it. You know, I didn't have a life in high school. I really just got, you know, I focused on education. And so when I got to Bowdoin, I was originally going to do pre-med, and I was set for that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a dramatic.
Yeah, one of my mentors, who is, I would say, is my pastor at my church. He is a doctor. He's an oncologist. I should know what it is, but it's basically a doctor for blood.
Right.
And so ever since I was young, I'm like, oh, I want to follow him. I want to be a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got to school and I took a science class, I'm like, that's not it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, for prerequisites, you have to take different disciplines. And so I took an acting class and was like, this is it.
Wow.
And I was kind of nervous for telling my mother originally, because, you know, every parent wants your child to have financial security, you know, longevity in a career.
Yes.
And where acting is just like, it's a gamble.
Yeah.
It's a gamble. And so when I told her, she was a little bit apprehensive about it. And then I think when she came, we had like a family and friends day every year at Bowdoin. And so she came one year and she saw me perform and she was like, wow, I get it.
Yes.
Yeah. So from that experience, Bowdoin, I did, you know, theater, I did dance, I did, you know, just did it.
Yeah.
And then when I got back home to Chicago, I went on an audition and I bombed it. I bombed it. Like, and to be honest, I had such, I was so prideful. Like, I went to this elite school and I'm in this theater program.
Yes.
And then when I got back home, it's like, actually, you're not good. And so for 2013, 2 years I took off. And I was just, first I was trying to find a job. First of all. And then, not 2 years, but 1.5 years I took off because my ego was bruised. And I worked in other things, and then I worked at Broadway in Chicago for a little bit in their marketing department. And that sort of sparked my, like, I need to get back into this. Because seeing other people on the stage doing what they loved, I'm like, I can do that. Why am I not doing that? So Richard Gallion, who's one of my mentors, I don't know if he knows, but I say he's my mentor. He has an acting class for actors in the city, and my mom was like, hey, if you want to go back into it, take this class. So I did, and it's just like ever since 14, I just started getting back into acting. It's just been a slow build, and I've been lucky to have like some really great opportunities from it.
Wow, that's an amazing story that you said, and just some things that I want to kind of chip away at. You said some very important, and thank you for being so vulnerable.
Oh, no problem.
Because some people, they get so caught up in, I'm this image of perfection to where they can't be open and vulnerable.
I'm definitely that some days.
But today you're like, hey, I bombed on my first audition.
It was terrible.
And because of that, my mental space was just messed up, because guess what? We audition 98% of the time. We're auditioning, and each time you walk away from that audition, you take a little piece of that with you. So it's really a mental game, getting yourself into gear and saying, okay, let me leave this alone. And when I walk away from this, I did my part. They got to do their part. Let me walk away.
Exactly.
So I'm grateful that you got back into it. Because we have all these wonderful things you have going on because you decided, okay, let me get back into it. And to also say that, hey, it's okay to mess up. It's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to feel like, it's not how you fall, it's how you get back up. So
Definitely.
You're a great testament to that. So thank you for that.
No problem.
So how do you feel? Because, some people are like, because me, when it comes to this industry, unless you plan on teaching or doing something bigger beyond that, is it necessary to go get a degree in theater, in order to be a successful, because some people don't have degrees and they've been, wonderfully successful, barely, just based off taking maybe a few classes, workshops, and things like that. So how do you feel?
Well, with that, you don't have to get a degree. I wouldn't say degrees. Yes, I'm glad that I have mine, and some people go on to get their master's in fine arts, and that's great. I don't believe you can make it as an actor with any training, with no training.
Right.
If you say like, oh, I have a natural gift, that's great. Everybody has a natural gift.
Yes.
But you have to train it. Like, just let me put an example. Like, if you say, oh, I have a natural inclination for science and I want to be a doctor, let me operate on you right now.
No.
You can't touch my body.
Right.
Like, where's the hours of experience for that?
Exactly.
And I think a lot of my generation is, I think, you know, we sort of fall on, you know, I look good and I have connections, or I've done some things, or you know, I've been in certain circles to get me to that next level.
Right.
Which maybe you can. Maybe God's like, okay, I'll let you in here, but will you stay?
Exactly.
And I think that's the biggest thing. You have to have, if you go through those doors, you have to have the talent to meet it.
Right.
You really do. And that just comes with cultivating your gift, and that takes time. It's not going to take a month. It's going to take 6 months. It's going to take a year. It takes 2 years. It's a continuous journey. I feel like if you're any profession, you have to always learn.
Right, exactly.
But I think sometimes in people's mind, like acting, I got it. It's like, I wish I was you.
Okay, really? But that's the fast food culture.
Yeah.
You know, when I was sitting here waiting for the Wi-Fi, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, Racheal, be patient.
I mean, that's the culture that we live in. Yeah.
So yes, the talent will get you through the door, but the skill will sustain you.
Yes.
You know, especially if you want to be, you know, the Denzel Washington, the Viola Davis, the Kerry Watt. You know, you have to really build on those skills and talents, and just a segue and out of that, you know, you just graduated from the Meisner program. At Green, is it Green Shirt?
Yeah, Green Shirt Studios. Yeah.
So what was that experience? Tell us a little bit about that program.
So it's 5 levels, and it's over, I believe, 6 to 8 weeks. I don't know. Green Shirt people, help me. Because hopefully some of them are on here. But yeah, it's just, you know, 5 levels, and really it changed the way I act now. Because, you know, when you go through acting program in school, they just, you know, it's very quick. It's very quick. And I'm grateful for it because they allow me to, you know, take a class and you're on stage, take the class on stage, or vice versa. In Meisner, you don't perform. It's like, you know, for the first 2 levels, you don't even get a script in your hand.
Really?
It's basically about being present. Really being present. Like it's some of the exercises when I before I got into the program, my friend Kat Blake, plug. She took us to. They have these free classes. Either it's on Fridays or they have Saturdays. Free drop-in classes where anybody can come in and just, you know, take a class.
Right.
And so I did, and one of the exercises was like, okay, look away and then look at the person and notice the first thing of that person. And it's so interesting how that was such a difficult thing to do, because sometimes we look at people but we don't see them.
It's true.
You know? And so, and then we're also not culture, what's the word I'm gonna use? Trained to not take in another person, because it's just like I just need to get something from you, and whatever I get from you, and then I'm done.
Right.
But Meisner makes you sit. It makes you actually be in the moment, absorb person. So it's just like I look away, it's like nose, look away, eyes, look away, lips, and like sometimes it was like uncomfortable because you have to say the first thing that comes out of your mouth, and sometimes we don't do that.
Right. No,
we filter. We do. One time I did the exercise and it was a woman, and I like chest, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then my teacher was like, what's wrong with that?
Right.
You're observing, you are taking her in as a person. And so each level really builds upon that. You start off with being in the moment, then it's emotional prep. You get text finally, but it's a wonderful program. I advise anybody to take a class at Green Shirt. Really,
Green Shirt
Studios, correct. And it's affordable, and they have payment plans, and
awesome.
you know they're good people. Like out of the league of acting programs here in Chicago, you have your Vagabonds, you have your Chicago Students. I love Green Shirt because they take the time with you, and they have a community.
And that's key.
Yes.
Just having a community, because I know when, because because I'm like one of the only people like in my family and of my like close friend circle to to want to be in this industry like this. So I felt very isolated, and I felt like there was no one I could talk to, communicate with. No one really understood me until I really started actively building. Started to build a community around me of people like myself, because I don't have to know you deeply and personally, but because you're in the field that I'm in, I feel a special connection,
right?
With you, because you get it. A lot of people don't get it. They don't get why we do what we do. Yeah. It's just like, oh my gosh, how do you do that? I'm just like, oh my gosh, how do you not do it?
Yeah. I mean, acting is like one of the most beautiful professions, because you get to experience human life.
Yes.
And really experience human life to the fullest. Like all the emotion of it, the ugliness of it, the beauty, the scary parts of it. Yeah. And, some people don't want to do that, and that's fine. But those who choose to go into acting, you're a special breed. So.
Yeah, it's a beautiful journey.
Yeah.
So tell me, with the Meisner program and just the different things that you've experienced, how has it helped you with your personal life? Are you able to be more open and vulnerable in your relationships, or
Yeah, I mean, it does. I think it starts with you as a person first, and then it goes into your talent.
Right.
So for me, I would say that I'm definitely more open to my friends. Like I'm.
Okay.
I'm. Those who know me, I'm a very guarded person.
Right.
Like, I don't mind staying on the superficial with anyone. In that way, I was just like, I'm very warm and open. It's just like superficial. Right. And when it comes to those things that are personal, that are like kind of that hurt, that kind of I'm embarrassed about, those things I typically keep to myself. And with the program and my faith as well, I've allowed myself to open up to those people who are in my friend group, and they know things more about me. And it's just like, it's easy for me to just say like, hey, I failed today.
Yeah. Yes.
It's easier. I'm gonna say easier to say I failed. I made a mistake. Today I feel like crying.
Yeah.
I'm really hurt right now. And so that's been helpful for me, just to do my own type of self-reflection, own self-inventory, and I think I've hopefully I'm better.
Let us know the truth, y'all.
Hopefully I'm better. I know some people. I know some people. I know what they're gonna say. They're like, I want to experience that, but George, he can be kind of guarded. He can be kind of cold. I know.
Right.
I know that is a part of me.
Because we, unless you're on that level of that vulnerability, you're going to get surfaced.
Yeah.
Depending on my mood and what I got going on, you may get cold surface.
Yeah, and it's not intentional. It's not never to hurt anybody, but it's just like,
I just kind of
would I rather work on myself or try to talk to you?
So that's what he's doing. And if you come across a little cold, he's just working on himself. Don't take it personal. Check back.
Check back, please.
Leave a message. Check back. Check back. Okay. So that's great, because I know that I had to, even with my career, I had to reach a certain level of vulnerability in order to even explore certain characters. Because if you're always closed off, you're going to close yourself off to yourself artistically too. Because so much of us is intertwined in these characters. There's always a smidget of you in there, because you're playing the character. It's your version of it, right? And
that's what the Meisner really teaches you. It's like, it's not a part of you; it is you. And that is for the last scene I did in class. It was between a husband and a wife. Oh, what was the play I just loved? Waiting for Lefty. Such a great play, so good. And it's between a husband and wife, and basically the husband is, in a dead-end job, and the wife wants more for her life, wants more for them, and their furniture was just taken, and out of their house, 2 kids, and she basically has to move him from this place of passivity to being an assertive man like he was before. Right. And at first, reading the script, I'm like, that's not, I know a bit of it, and he was like, no, you. Right. You. And that's going to always change. The characters are always going to change, because it's going to be different people being that person. Yes. But for me, it was like, oh wow, I've been in those moments where it's just like you get into the pace of life, the rat race, and it's just like I'm good. So it's like I'm satisfied.
Right.
Whereas your partner is like, no, there's more. You know, so. That was fun. It was a fun scene. It was fun. I cried.
Oh my goodness.
My teacher cried. I was like, if I make you cry, then I'm great.
Okay.
I feel good.
That's a testament to just a really solid foundation. So big shout out to Green Shirt Studio.
Yeah, please look them up. They're
yes.
I'm not doing the plug for no reason. You actually really strengthen your talent and your skills from that program.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm sure they have, a plethora of classes, learning how to audition on camera. So just
they have stuff for your voice, they have stuff for your body, they have stuff. It's just go check on their website. They're really good people, really solid people. Yes.
So
yes.
Enough about Green Shirt Studio. We love you though. So we're going to kind of dig into to you just reading over your bio, like I was kind of saying before.
Sure, let's go for it.
I just want to kind of read it word for word because I just appreciate kind of what you said in there where you were just talking about expanding the narratives of minorities in film through your screenwriting, and then you have a production company, Rome Production Group.
Yes, and I also have another one I started as well for Division. So Rome Production Group is, I'm so happy about it. And it stands for Representation of Minorities in Entertainment.
Oh my gosh. Say that again.
So Rome stands for Representation of Minorities in Entertainment.
Wow.
So the name came from one of our partners, Carly Anderson. We were in a group chat and Marlboro is part of it as well. So like 2 years ago, we were just talking, we always send audition posts and I just like, who wants to create content? Because it's like 40 different people in here, and I know besides acting, there must be some resources or other gifts in here. So what can we do? And so out of 40 people, Carly Anderson, Eric Sconiers goes by Epic, and myself, we met at Harold Washington, and we're just like, what are some ideas that you want to do? And we just started talking, and we all just came to the consensus of like, we want to expand the narrative of minorities. And, Chicago is such a great city. We have so many great shows right now. We have all the Chicago shows. We have The Shy. We have, what else do we have? We have Red Line. We have Empire. But there's still more colors of stories that need to be told.
Absolutely.
So Carly, Eric, and I, we got together and was like, okay, let's create a production group, and did licensing, got all the website and all that stuff, and we're just working right now. They're partnering with Kara Winter and I on Division.
We'll get into that.
Division. But yeah, that is.
That's awesome, but you stepped out on faith and was like, okay, let me ask the question.
Yeah,
because you got to put those things into motion, and then things will start to fall into place.
Exactly. You can't complain. I feel like, especially in this day and age, there's so many opportunities. There's so many ways that you can put yourself out there.
Right.
It may take work. Now, that is one thing that I definitely will stress. We have avenues to express.
Yes.
You can record stuff on your phone, record stuff on an iPad, record a lot of ways. But in order for it to be quality, it takes time.
Right.
It takes time.
Yeah.
And that is one thing that I would like to stress to other artists. Create content, create it, but you have to take time with it so it can be quality, so others can say, won't dismiss your effort.
Yes, absolutely. And hold that thought.
Yes.
We do have a question.
Sure.
So, what teacher most impacted you as an artist, and as a band?
Oh my God! So, hi, David.
Hey, David.
So David's actually in Division. He's in Manila with his wife right now, Jennifer, and she's the lead for it. So it's lovely to have a couple in our short film. So, teacher. Oh. As an artist and as a man. Okay, so I'm just gonna go with my first thought. No, go with your first start. So Mr. Rocco at Hills Franciscan High School.
All right, shout out to Mr. Rocco.
Mr. Rocco. Okay, so he taught English lit, American lit to be exact, and he was the hardest teacher I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
Because first paper I wrote, he basically was like, "You can do better." He's like, "This is average," and he really whooped me into shape as a writer. And I'm like, "Why are you going so hard?" Because everybody else who, this is how crazy he was, not crazy, but just like very diligent on me. He would give me a grade, but he was like, "You're okay. You got an A technically, but quality wise, you got a C."
There you go.
Because like you're a good writer, but the depth isn't there.
Yes.
And so Mr. Rocco was just so impactful, and I owe a lot to him because he really pushed me. And you definitely need those people in your life that just like push you, and they push you because they see the potential.
Yes.
And he saw the potential. So Mr. Rocco, thank you, because if you didn't push me, if he didn't push me then, I wouldn't be writing now as a screenwriter.
Right, absolutely. And like you were saying before, quality.
Yeah.
It's not about, we live in such a fast-paced culture. Like, it's okay for you to spend 2, 3, 4, 5 years cultivating and getting this project together, whether it's a short film, whether it's a feature film, whether it's whatever it is, whether it's an EP, an album. It's best to put out the best version of yourself, and then we change, we evolve.
Right.
I started writing the EP, like over a year ago, and I'm a different person now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, scratch. I'm about to start over.
Yeah.
So postpone on that debut because I'm a different person.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be due diligence, if I put something out that truly didn't reflect who I am now as my growth. So good.
Can I tag on one more person?
Absolutely.
Because just the person who I thought, I'm like, teacher, he's not technically a teacher, but you have teachers in life as well.
Right.
So another person who helped me was Dan Harris. Director Dan Harris of Red Leg Films. I was in his short called Wait, Am I a Racist? And it's a comedy piece, and it was great. And from that, I liked his energy. I'm like, I like this. I like what he's doing. I want to keep up with him. And so, kept up with him. And so my first script that I ever, my first script, my first TV pilot, I let him read it. And he was like, basically, this isn't good. Wow. And that's sort of like, I just had to swallow it. Okay, what do I need to do? And he's like, this is what you do. This is what you do here. This is what you do here. Your female characters need to be stronger. They need to be more in depth. They have more depth to them. Right. This doesn't make sense with the scene doesn't make sense here. What does this mean? And he really picked it apart. And from him, it taught me how to separate personal from business.
There you go.
Because personally, he wasn't attacking me.
Right.
He was analyzing my work. And sometimes artists, we get so intertwined with our work, our talent, that we can't look just from afar to like, okay, I actually need to work on that. I actually need to change this.
Right.
And so thank you, Dan, because,
thank you, Dan.
My pilot is pretty good now. So,
Hi.
But yeah, no,
yes.
you can have teachers in school, but in teachers' life as well.
Yes, absolutely. And you don't want people in your life that only say yes. Oh, you're perfect. Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, you're so. Oh, yeah. It's nice to get the accolades. Don't get me wrong. But I want to grow. I want to improve. I want to be a better version of myself. So if you have something that you can use, a gift, where you can say, okay, this is cool.
Right.
But it can be great.
Yeah.
It's good, but it can be so. That's an honor and a privilege that you have people in your life that are honest enough with you, to be raw and uncut. Like, hey, no, come on over here, dude.
And also, I have to work on that too, because sometimes I'm very much an analytical person, and I'm always thinking like, how can we improve? How can we do better? And one time, I gave someone advice, and like, they weren't receptive to it, and it wasn't their fault. Right. I shouldn't have given it, because they didn't ask for it.
You got to know when.
Right. So now I'm just like, when people talk to me about their ideas, scripts, or projects, I'm like, okay, great. and then I wait until they say, what do you think? And then I ask them, are you sure you want my opinion?
Yeah.
And then I give it to them, not out of a mean place, but out of a place of like, I want you to be better. I want you to be stronger. I want to help you get to that place. And it's not going to always be roses. It's not going to always be like,
no, it's not.
You know, feathers and, you know, laying on the pillow, lounging with
flowers.
Exactly. It's going to, the truth by itself hurts, but with grace, people are allowed to receive it a little bit different.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That's perfect. Constructive criticism,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in any growth is painful.
Yeah.
Period. You know, so that's good that you've had that in your life. That you,
I'm still going through it.
That you give it back, you know, when people are receptive to it. So that's awesome. So let's talk about some of your projects.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, great.
No. This is all you. You know, so it's all important.
Yeah.
You know, but we want to get into some meat and potatoes.
Okay,
you know what
cool.
I'm saying? Yeah, baby.
What do you want to talk about?
Baby. So definitely when I was reading through your bio and everything, just looking over some information, you know, Rome, you're currently, you know, producing this project called Desperate, right?
Yeah.
Which is a short film about three women's journeys with rape culture.
Oh, so that's Veneer.
So it's okay.
So Desperate is
that's
Richard,
the one you're producing.
Yeah, that's Richard Gallian's project, his love child, his passion project.
So let's get into that in just a second.
Yeah, okay.
So my bad.
No, that's fine.
So what is the name of
So Veneer. So that is with my good friend Leo, Leonardo, and he's from a talented director first, and then cinematographer. He's from Milan, great. He has his own production company, and so Veneer came out of just relationship. So I was in Leo's short film called Off the Rails, like 3 years ago, and I just was like, I like this guy. I'm gonna keep up with him, and I would just always send him emails, and we just built a rapport. He would bring me onto stuff, and so when Rome, we became our production company. We filmed a web series this past summer, and out of doing, Leo offered his services for us for the project, and he was like, in exchange, I want you to help produce this short film that I have.
Beautiful, yes.
Yeah, and so Veneer it's a lovely story.
So it's Veneer.
Veneer, yeah.
Veneer.
Yeah, so it's I think it's timely. You know, it was funny, like when we were talking about women's rights and when it comes to pregnancy and postpartum depression and rape culture, it just fell right in line with the Me Too movement, and it was just like, wow, these things are sort of aligning together.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's a beautiful story. We're still in production now, and then once we're finished, we'll, hit all the circuits in the city. So I'll post it. Honestly, I'm trying to think of Leo's production page. I'll post it. But yeah, you can definitely follow his work. He's beautiful, beautiful work, quality work.
Right, and just looking at the information on it, rape culture, pregnancy, postpartum, women's productive right. That's deep.
Yeah.
That's a tall task to kind of like embody all those things and try to represent that. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what that looks like. So hi.
And it's also a testament to the writer Brianna. She wrote it. She was a screenwriter. She wrote it with Leo, and she's a mom as well. So those things were right. She used a lot of those experiences, and we interviewed a lot of women who've actually gone through some of those things to inform the script. So definitely Leo and Brianna, they did a great job with that.
Yes, because it's important, because I know. Me and Marva, shout out to Marva Foster, my producer, what up, girl, whoopty whoop. We went to a panel discussion for In Contempt, a show on BT.
Yeah.
What's his name? I always forget his name. With his fine self.
Christian Keys.
Jesus.
That's okay. Dark-skinned boys are, still out too.
And we were talking with him. The director was there, the writer and director, and we were talking about how there's not enough of the people that you're actually filming about representing being represented in the writing room. Like you have a room full of older white men writing for younger black youth on the south side of Chicago. How do you know?
Yes.
So we were just talking about how her writing room is integrated.
Great.
You know what I mean? With diversity, if they're going to tell a story about an Asian family, why not have someone Asian tell that story?
Well, yeah, that's yeah. It just makes sense.
So what you're doing, your collaborations, the people you work with, how you go into your Rome Productions, and then with your producing and everything, even with Division, it's a lot of beautiful diversity. Yeah. Because we all have a voice. It just doesn't have to be black and white.
Exactly.
It can be full of beautiful colors. So let's get into Division.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Division. Boop boop.
Oh my God, what? I love it so much.
Yeah. So just because I know you have a Indiegogo kind of GoFundMe.
Yes.
For Division. So let's just talk about that. Let's just express.
We can unpack it. Yeah.
The why. You set up this GoFundMe account. Why we should contribute to this.
Sure.
And just the film in general. Just let's get into that.
So Division the thought behind it started last year. We talked about this before, how I take myself out on dates by myself.
Yes.
It's the best thing ever.
Yes.
So I took myself on a date to see La La Land. And visually stunning. Music was gorgeous, but there was no diversity in it. And so I left the movie just like, no qualms about the actors, but it's just like the story wasn't diverse. And so I was like, let me make a diverse version of La La Land. And so I started thinking about it, and I just had an impulse. I'm like, I would really love to collaborate with another writer. And I was like, who could it be? And I prayed about it, and God was like, Kara Winter. And I was
Shout out to Kara.
Kara Winter. Yeah, and Kara, a lot of the projects that I work on is based off just like I've either worked with them before, and I just sustained a relationship. So Kara, she directed a comedy play at Gorilla Tango Theater called Party on Chicago.
Hey.
And I was a swing for it, and so I went up once, and I just I liked her vibe. She was cool. She was from New York, had a cool, and so reached out to her, and this woman has so much experience. Like I think she's such a gem in the city. Like people don't even know how great Kara she is. But we started in October and just writing, and the thought was like, okay, diversity. Who do you want to see? And it was like, okay, let's get in. We want to write a story about an Asian man and a Latina woman. And even before that, we wanted to write a story about Chicago that talked about being in a long distance relationship in the city. Because as you know, Chicago's so segregated.
Yes.
And that is just, that's just, a fact.
Right.
The city is segregated from the south side to the north side, and we couldn't go, west side, but it's very segregated. And so if you live on the south side like I do, and you live on the north side, it can take a long time to get each other.
Right.
I was just on a train from Cermak, Chinatown to go to the end of the red line. It took me 45 minutes. And I'm like, if I'm trying to be in a relationship with somebody and I got to get on the train for 45 minutes because I'm not spending that Uber money because I'm trying to save money, okay? Build wealth, okay? So I'm like, that's long.
Right.
And so that's where the crux of the film started. And then from that, we're like, all right, we want diversity first.
Yes.
We want diversity first. So we have an Asian lead, and oh my God, these people are
beautiful.
These,
oh my God,
Chicago has amazing talent.
Yeah.
We have so many amazing, talented people, and there's another part of that too, but we'll get to that as well. Which is sort of a drawback as well, but we'll unpack that later. But we have a very strong people. So we have Hui. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I know how to pronounce it, but I forgot. But I'll just say the first name. Thanks. So we have Hui. He is phenomenal. He's in Conrad. He was on Better Call Saul.
Okay.
He does a lot of comedy in the city.
Yes.
Great. Then Jennifer is our Camilla, and she's had a Pantene commercial, and she's international actress. She's actually in Manila right now, filming a movie.
Wow.
and then we have, so those are our leads, dynamic people.
Wow.
Supporting, we have Nicole Reed, who's been in Chicago PD. She's part of Desperate. We have Diana Lee, who's also Chicago PD. She's done that. And she just won an award for like some musical theater festival, like legit.
Yes.
And then we have Chris Mahar, who's like, he says he's just a comedy person, but boy is like a legit model. He's a model, but he's so funny.
Oh, you're a model?
He's so funny. Then Peter Anderson, oh my god, he's so good. He's so good. And it's just like, then we have David Yanko, we have what's her name? Bailey Castle, Justin Fullerton, Jory Sampson, DeChantel, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but it's just like, these are solid people and talented, hardworking, and they believe in the project. Yeah. And they believe. That's
key.
Yeah.
They believe in the project. You know, and because some people, they jump on something just to say they're on it.
Right.
You know, that's not how I operate. I'd rather not do anything than jump on something I really truly don't believe in. You know, so that's key. So I'm glad you got people who are rocking and rolling who believe in it.
Yeah.
Because when things get a little turbulent, you know, that I believe in this project sets a foundation.
Yeah. A
sturdy, stable foundation to where they're not going to be flaky.
Yes,
you know
exactly, and that's. Yeah, we have a solid cast and crew, and the Indiegogo has been we launched it last week, and we're, you know, our goal is 15,000, which, you know, in the grand scheme of things is like small for a short film. Yeah. For a short film, $15,000 is not a lot.
And then explain, you know, why you want that, you know, because we, you know, as actors, we work for free just to get something solid on our reels and just to be a part of projects. So just explain the why behind the Indiegogo. Yeah, so
we're trying to fund the project. Kiara and I we're definitely self-investing. We are talking with investors, but we still need money to produce the project. We've spent a lot just on the presentation of the Indiegogo campaign.
That's everything.
Like shout out to Tyler Levy, who created our video, Louis Weeks, who gave us the music. I mean, we spent time, money to show quality because we're trying to make a quality project. But the $15,000 is covering paying the cast and crew. Yes. Because, you know, as actors, we know it's great to, you know, have the IMDb credit will feed you. But, you know, if you're really opening yourself up, you want to get paid for it. You know, for that time of working on the script, developing your person, learning about who this person is, where they are, that takes time. And so we are paying everyone, and as well as we're doing pay equity. So everyone is paid the same. So one thing that Karen and I, we just hate is just like when a male lead gets paid more than a female lead. Oh my gosh. And we just like from the beginning, we're doing pay equity. So if we're going to offer the male more, we have to offer the female lead as the same. They have to match up. We're not doing that just parents who like, we'll just slide you. No, everyone gets paid the same. So that's one of the costs. We have to pay for the crew. Yes. We have to pay for food to pay, you know. We have one scene where it's like 30 people.
Oh Lord, you gonna feed all these people.
I know, and shout out to my sister who's gonna cater. Okay, great. Yeah, it's just like we just want to do it right. You know, we want to do it. We feel like the project is special. I believe in it, and it's like if you want to do it right, you gotta pay. Yeah. You gotta pay. So whatever anyone wants to give, if it's $1, that's $1 that is gonna help. $5, $10. We've had people to give more, mighty or you know, or minute. Everything counts. Yes, it really does count. Absolutely. So please consider looking at our Indiegogo, and if you can't donate, share it with people. If you know people who are like, I got some extra money laying around. Share it to them. We need the help. But yeah, we're gonna work on it. We are being very aggressive with spreading the word, and because we want this to be made.
And it's a beautiful thing, and you know, and as an actress, you know, and you're an actor, you know, we appreciate those type of things when you're trying to go out of your way to say, okay, you know, I I want to be able to give you something.
Yeah.
Because you're traveling, your nails, makeup, hair, all that stuff. Set you do certain.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Makeup artists and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But so I definitely appreciate that. I know the last time I checked on Facebook, you were at 24% of your goal.
Now we're at 26%.
Hi.
Yeah, we're at 26%. So it's like 3,800 and something right now. So yeah, it's I've been like milking my network. Like we've been like my mom, my friends, my sisters, brothers, my
That's what we're supposed to do.
But it's just like hey,
you got to keep it out there in the forefront.
Yeah, I mean you have other things. You spend your money for. Spend it for something that's actually going to create opportunities for other people.
There you go.
Because this project, even though we love it and it's our passion project, we want it to elevate our careers.
Right. And are you considering? Because it's a short film right now. Are you considering, maybe going into, a series or maybe, feature, full-length feature film?
Okay, this is my exclusive.
Oh my gosh!
All right.
Let me stop yelling it.
So it's not about that, but it's, okay, this is so cool.
Oh
all right,
gosh.
so, and it leans off of to your question. So we have been extremely fortunate, and I just, I say I'm blessed because I believe and I know God provided this opportunity. I know.
Yes.
So we just had Scott Jacobs to sign on to our project. Now, Scott Jacobs, people are like, oh, who's Scott Jacobs? So he is an LA-based editor, and he has worked on Despicable Me 3.
Really?
He's worked on Born Legacy. He has worked on People of Interest, Parks and Recs. He has Keanu, and he is consulting us on this project now.
Oh my God!
So I know,
baby.
I know. When I found out, I did like a little two-step, like I don't even know how to shout, but I definitely did a little do something because it's just like
God. That's beautiful. That's like. Wow.
And it's funny because the way it happened is David Yanko, who submitted the question, he's not best friends, but he knows Scott Jacobs.
Right.
And he was like, Scott reached out to David and was like, who's editing the film, and he connected us with that. And I mentioned that because with David actually originally auditioned for a role that we went in a different direction for.
Really?
But we were like, Kara and I, we were just like, let's follow our gut. And for me, I'm like, God's leading me, okay?
Yes.
I was like, God, he was like, and he was like, let's bring David on the project. And by us bringing David on the project, he introduced us to Scott, and now Scott is working on.
See, when you have purpose, when you're purposeful in your led, you follow your spirit, follow your gut, whatever you want to call it, follow Mother Nature, whatever you're doing. I don't know about Mother Nature. Following these flowers.
Because these flowers are died of our life.
The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord.
Yes.
Things line up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And with my faith, I don't try to like, I'm a Christian. I let my life do the talking.
Right.
Because when you truly are following the lead of Christ and you're following Him, He will direct you.
Yes.
He will direct you, and that's where
Absolutely.
this casting came. That's where the project started. I'm like, Lord, I need help. Talk to Kara. I need help with this. Talk to this person.
Wow.
Lord, I need help us with this casting. Get this person. Like, I have a story, but I'm not going to share because it's not appropriate for this. But I'll tell you off screen.
Okay.
But every time I allow God to lead me in with my projects, it's been successful. And even with David, it was just like, get him. It's like, okay, great. And then boom, look at this.
Wow.
So yeah, very fortunate. I'm very happy to have him on here, and we got an amen.
Can I get an amen?
But yeah, I think for me, it's just like, especially being in this industry, it's just like, I'm a Christian first before I'm an actor, and so I want that to be demonstrated in my work. So
absolutely, because I think the underlying tone is love.
Yeah.
Love and compassion, and just being the best version of yourself that you can be at the time. and that reflects. So you don't have to walk around, saying literally, I'm a Christian. Some people will see that light.
Mm-hmm.
They'll see that glow, and they'll be intrigued to know. So we have another question.
Okay.
Let me see. Which actor is a role model for you?
Oh my God.
That's a tough one, but
well,
yeah.
I mean, okay. Oh, I know who it is. I give homage to a lot of people. I give homage to all of the great actors. Ralph, Denzel Washington, Sidney Poitier, just all the black actors who paved the way. But someone who I always just admire their work is Ralph Fiennes. So Ralph Fiennes is
right. You better stop playing with me.
Right? It's just like I love his ability to just really embody, really be a person. Like I was hooked on him from Lord Voldemort and Harry Potter. All right, and then he just did that character with such grace, and there was like a sensuality to it, but it wasn't like it was power.
Yes,
it was real power. And so for me, I just followed his work, and I like his work.
Right, absolutely, and just for people to understand, just because we're African American doesn't mean we have to just gravitate towards African American, actors as role models and things, because there's so many talented people. Focus on the talent, not the color.
Yeah, I love Greg Kinnear. I love so many people.
Absolutely. We got more questions.
Great. Oh my God.
All right.
Oh.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years from Miss Kay Robinson? Thank you so much for joining us, Kay.
I have to give Kay a shout out because she is one of those people who just speaks faith into a person. And so I just love you, Kate. Okay, and where do I see myself in 5 years? So 5 years, I will be 31.
You said no Bible.
I know.
You wake up to love.
No, I don't. You moisturize first.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So 5 years. Well, 5 years from now, I definitely will be in television, producing and writing. Because I'm already starting with my own pilot, which I hinted at, called Boys Will Be, which is it plays off the common phrase "boys will be boys," but I'm just really interested going back to diversity, expanding the narrative of minorities, especially men of color, because I feel like there's so many more things that we can unpack, and it's like for me, it's just like I want to see somebody that acts like me, who is has some education experiences and stuff like that, but still trying to figure out his masculinity and manhood in this culture, and faith and relationships and all that. So that will be happening 5 years from now. I would love to be living abroad.
Oh my God,
that is my
awesome.
I miss traveling abroad, and it's just that itch again. It's just like I need to relocate again. So living abroad or living in a different city, preferably LA, because New York is just oversaturated for me. So living abroad, working in a TV pilot, and in a financial place where I can support other people's projects. I'm not saying like I want to be like a millionaire, even though I claim it. All right, but it's just like there's so many people who want to create stuff, but they don't have funds for it. And I know I will be in that place.
Yes, you will.
And that's one of my goals, to like give back, whether it's like $1,500 or $2,000, whatever. But just like to give, like create. But with stipulations, because I'm not just giving money out, because I want people to like, create quality work. So okay, I'll give you money, but what are you doing? So that's those three things. That's in the future.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Creating more content.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Traveling so you can just breathe.
Yeah. Oh my God. If people haven't traveled, just
connect. Because it's a beautiful experience. And just being in a position to to be that stepping stone for the next artist that's out here longing and wanting. And to piggyback off that, you know, I know certain people with the Indiegogo or the GoFundMe, you know, they have different packages available. You know, for different levels of giving. Are you offering that?
We have packages from $5 to $1,500, and it ranges from, you know, Twitter shout out to coming on set, being an extra, to
awesome.
having pie with Kara and myself, and we talk about the script, or we'll take you out to dinner.
Some din. Okay.
Or or we a shout out from the cast and crew, handwritten script. Handwritten with signatures from everyone on the production. You know, so there's many levels from $5 to $1,500. Give where you want. If you want a perk, great. If you just want to give, just like, hey, here's some money. People have done that as well. So we receive any contribution, any support financially, or just word of mouth. We really, really value that. But if you give money, you get extra.
Extra little something.
Extra little like encouragement or like appreciation. But yeah, we appreciate everybody because people don't have to support you.
Right, absolutely.
People do not. And so if they do, I'm grateful.
And we have another question.
Cool.
This is from Mr. Heroditness. What you doing, Bobo? What you doing, Harold?
What up, Harold?
So he wants to know, why did you pick this industry compared to doing something other than film and acting? I know we got into a little bit of he may have just now got on and talked about how you were actually going to do pre-med. You know, initially, but why this industry?
Because I'm a creative. I mean, I honestly feel that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. In terms of actually performing, I get a thrill out of that. I feel fulfilled. And then also the business side, I feel fulfilled with that as well. I told you before, I have such an analytical mind, and sometimes it can be overbearing, I know. But in this context where there's so many moving parts, I can see everything clearly in my mind, in my head. It's like, okay, let's look at the details here, here, all at the same time. So it's just like, this is where I'm supposed to be. If I'm teaching, I wouldn't be satisfied in the same way, or my gift, my focus, my trait wouldn't be utilized properly. So then if my trait's not being utilized properly, I would take it out on other people in a way that's not, that's damaging to them. So in this, whether it's performing or with business, I can just like, oh, this makes sense. This makes sense, and it gets it. I click. So so thank you, Harold. I can only see myself doing this.
It sounds like you have a great balance to where you can feed, you know, that all of yourself from the brain to the heart to the gut, like everything is getting fed. I'm trying. So that's awesome. Thank you, Harold.
Thank you, Harold.
Your talented saying.
Yeah, that man got credits on credits.
Okay.
He got it.
Okay. So tell us. Really, I want to get into, because you signed on as a producer. We talked about Desperate.
Oh my God.
So I know when I go to like IMDb Pro, people are asking for producers, you know, for their films, and there's like, you know, can you produce this? Executive producer, right? You know, what made you first tell us like a little synopsis, you know, of it, and then tell us why you decided to jump into that, because you could have went anywhere to produce.
So Desperate is a Chicago story, and I think it's different because it's grittier. Like, you know, Chicago PD, Chicago, that brand, NBC, it's very, I would say it's clean. The Shy is definitely through a specific lens of a queer person, you know, which is needed. Desperate is it's gritty.
I love gritty. Like The Wire gritty?
Yeah, I would compare it to that lens. And it started off as a play. Richard Gallion did it as a play, and it's very successful. Like, if you don't know who Richard Gallion is, please, you know, take some time to get to know him. Because he's an amazing person. Like, he creates his own work, directs it, you know, funds it. It's just like, in thousands of people come to the show. So it's not like just like, you know, in some like storefront thing. This is like, he packs out houses.
He's the real deal, guys.
So he decided to make it into a pilot, and I heard some rumblings of it because, I was keep in contact with people who, are doing stuff. And so it's like, oh, cool, he's filming something. And so I got a call in April. Yeah, April. He's like, would you like to produce this project? I was like, sure, because I'm already familiar with the work. I've sat in table reads before with him. Like, sure, I would love to help you undertake this. And so my position was just basically to help strengthen the project and see that it got done.
Wow.
So, with Desperate, helped bring on a cinematographer, my friend Leo, who I worked with several times, and he's did fantastic work for them. I'm looking forward to seeing a rough cut from that, and then help bring hair and makeup. And then on the day of the shoot, I was just there to make sure everything ran smoothly. Right. Sometimes producers just sit in the chair, and that's okay. Right. But when it's like money on the line and time, it's just like you got to get stuff done. Right. So I was in there either like ironing shirts, costumes, helping with hair. I learned how to do makeup on set.
Okay, what?
I did. I learned how to do.
Look, can I get some tips?
No, for real. So my friend, my contact from Tricocia University, who supplied hair and makeup for them, she, one of the makeup artist was not there, and she was like, all right, so I'm going to teach you. And I learned how to, contour a face. I know, even though I know how to do some, because I just watched tutorials and all kind of crazy stuff, because I'm just that type of person. Yes. So I learned how to do a full thing of makeup.
What?
So when I'm on set and I don't have a makeup artist, I don't have to pay nobody.
What? Okay.
But so, that's one of the things about producing people don't realize. It's just like, you have to make this successful.
Right.
You have to make sure this production is moving. Right. And I was there, and I think it's going to be a great product.
Wow. I look forward to just let us know, just how we can get in contact with you.
Oh God.
There's so many.
I know I have a lot. I'm like.
There's so many ways, because you have the the Rome production group.
Yeah.
You have your personal page. You have let people know how they can connect with the vision to even give.
Yeah. So if you want to contact me, you can go through Rome Production Group. That's on. You can Google it. Put in your www.romeproductiongroup.com. There's also Facebook, Instagram. For Division, you can look us up on Division, the short film. On Instagram, on Facebook is Division the film. Oh no, it's this Division the short film as well. And then my name is George Ellzey Jr. You can, follow me on Facebook. If you add me, I'm gonna do a little vetting process. But
who did?
Yeah, I'm kind of But hey, if you want to contact me, get information. And then the link will be in the comments as well, so you can get all that information as well.
Awesome. And then one more thing, recently you just joined the Agency Theater Collective, our artistic ensemble, known as the Collective.
Yeah. Oh my God. If I wasn't already doing too much.
Oh my gosh. So I'm just like, dude. Okay. When do you slay?
Yeah.
Okay?
It's such a great opportunity. So the agency is a nonprofit organization that puts on theater. It's so great. Like, there's so many great programs in the city that artists should be utilizing, and so you should utilize the agency because they have monthly showcases where new works are put up, and they always need actors.
Are you looking for writers too?
Yeah. So with that, every month they have a showcase with already submitted works, and they need actors to perform in it. But every Saturday night at Lincoln Lofts, they have something called No Shame. And so No Shame Theater is, you get 5 minutes to perform anything.
Really?
5 minutes to perform
Are y'all listening
anything.
To this? Wow.
So it's no cover charge. It's just, you sign up, 5 minutes to perform anything. There is a gambit of things that have happened on that stage. Okay. But literally it's no shame. So if you have a work, you have a comedy set, you have a poem, you have music, and you just want to perform in someone, and no one gives you any critique. It's no shame, no shame theater.
That's beautiful. So how can we? Is all this information on their website?
Yeah. So the agency, their website is wearetheagency.org. So wearetheagency.org. You find out all about the programming. We're actually having a fundraiser for the agency on June 2nd. We're having a rooftop brunch.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Oh, yes. It's going to be so nice.
Rooftop brunch.
Yeah, and it's, help to fund the programming for this year. Other plays that are coming up, and like I said, No Shame, and the Basement series. That's what it's called.
Absolutely. And just so you guys know, this is the mission statement, for the agency, is to create extraordinary theatrical experiences by fostering new work and fresh takes from dynamic points of view.
Yes.
So their goal is to give you a spotlight where you can be creative and use your gifts, and with the inclusion and diversity.
And it's nurturing.
It's such a beautiful thing, and to get that nourishment and get that nurturing thing that you may not get. So definitely. Tell them that website again where they can go.
wearetheagency.org. You can follow them on the agency Facebook page. They have an Instagram. These are just people who I really endorse because they've helped my life so much. Yeah.
That's so beautiful. Yeah. And guys, if you have any questions,
bring on the questions.
You know what I'm saying? You can contact, George Ellzey Jr.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can message him.
Yeah, you can message me.
If you're going to get vetted trying to friend him, you better message him first.
I'm saying,
You can definitely contact, Barbara Foster, our producer, or me if you need to get in contact with him as well, if he ain't answering you, okay? Because you're getting vetted. Well, no, I'm just playing, but... But but he has a lot of great things going on. He's been on both sides of the fence, acting, all sides, acting, writing, producing, directing.
Yeah.
And even on the casting side, definitely like Rome Productions Group.
Yeah. We have projects coming up in the fall, so it's like we need people.
So get connected, guys, and start sprucing up those resumes, start building those skills, and just be the best version of yourself. This is a lovable, likable guy. I know he said he can have his little moments, but once you get in that room with him, you will definitely feel very engaged and very nourished, and you'll feel like somebody who's, in your corner.
And that's what we strive to do with every audition. It's like we know how it is coming to a room where it's cold and you don't have anyone looking at you. So we always try to fill it with love and laughter. So if you come out to any of our auditions, you'll be family.
Yes, so thank you so much once again for joining us on the scene.
Thank you.
You have so much to offer, and I look forward to all of your future projects. All the links, guys, are in the comments. So just go through the comments, you'll find links to how you can to give to Division the Film.
Please
the short film, just a great focus on diversity, and we have an Asian lead.
Yeah.
Guys, that's huge. Because the Asian Americans,
and it's not stereotypical either.
You know what I mean? They're trying to break through too. We're trying to break these barriers down. Give everybody an opportunity. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
I'm Racheal J. You are on the scene. Guess what? Your purpose is undeniable. You are more than what you think you are. You are good enough. We love you. We celebrate you. Check us out next Friday on the scene. We are with my boy, Marva's boy, your boy now, George Ellzey Jr., the multi-talented, beautiful, spirited man. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love you. Toodles.
Bye.